Hello everybody, it's me, Mia Maples Minecraft. Welcome back to the testing series. Mojang's latest round of spear updates? Well, they've revolutionized not only travel, but exploration, map making, moving mobs, and on top of that, added some new use to old dusty items. Ooh, so it all begins with Minecraft Snapshot 23W25A? Oh no. I have Zodalus brain, great, what will I do? The recent Snapshot 25W43A took a look at the Lunge enchantment and redid how this system works. In older snapshots, you might remember it being quite laughable. A Lunge 3 wooden spear would break instantaneously, like literally one use, and the boy was gone. Previously, the Lunge enchantment needlessly consumed a ton of durability. Nowadays, the Lunge enchantment, instead of durability, will take this enchantment and call it Lunge, because it's all about hunger. System's pretty simple here. You can think of it as the more you are going to lunge, well, the more hungry you're going to get. Or, in other words, yes, exactly. With the introduction of this brand new lunge system, it actually makes this enchantment extremely viable in survival Minecraft, especially inside of a survival Minecraft world where you've got your food situation tightly under wrap. But to this new round of changes to the spear and the enchantment, well, it actually affects so much more. When heading down the road of lunge maxing, the first thing that we need to take a look at here is weapon cooldowns. So when I attack with a spear, which for lunge every time it's going to be the jab attack, so that means this poke is the only poke we care about today. Every single time I do a poke attack with a different tier of spear, well, that tier spear cooldown thing, as the spear gets worse, the cooldown gets quicker. Basically, what that all amounts to here is a wooden spear having a much quicker cooldown than a netherite spear. This cooldown is crazy noticeable here too, because if I attack with a netherite spear and wait for the second attack, I mean, yeah, it takes a little bit of time. Meanwhile, the wooden spear, I can pretty much attack, like, essentially without any cooldown. It's so quick. Long story short, to maximize quickness and attack, we will need to get the worst possible spear. What possible? With our worst possible spear in hand, it is now time to enchant. If you're familiar with the enchantment system even a little bit, you might know that different tiers of materials will give you different enchantment values. And those different enchantment values will change which enchantments will show up. Now, for starters here, we will be able to find lunge from the enchanting table, but unfortunately, an enchanting table without any bookcases, yeah, that's not really going to work, at least for our lunge maxing. Of course, this all goes without saying that for what we're going to pull off today, you will want to get the highest level of lunge. Enchanting in Minecraft, if you didn't know, gold has like the highest enchantment value in the entire game. That means when enchanting a golden spear, you will get the best enchantments most frequently. Oh my god, you see what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that it's going to be hard to get good enchantments with the wooden spear either, because no, absolutely not. Because wood is so bad, I find that more often than not, it's actually pretty easy to get your hands on a really good wooden spear. Of course, if you're looking for this lunge setup, you could simply use the reroll system and, you know, not take any of these really good enchantments, just keep rerolling low-level enchantments until you eventually... Oh my god, that's good. So, Lunge 3 on Spear, the next thing that we're going to need to get our hands on is, well, food. And, I mean, look, man, I'm not going to hold your hand through it all. Figure out how to get food yourself. Sorry, that sounded aggressive. Didn't mean to. Love you. And will you please tap the like button? Thank you. Sir, you're going to need your food farm of choice. My food farm of choice? Oh, the one and only, the Cow Crusher. I love this thing. Keep in mind that food has this invisible saturation mechanic, and the saturation mechanic basically equates to how long your hunger will actually stay full when you are full. Long story short here, the better the food, the more saturation you are usually going to get. Steak is one of the best options you could go for. So at last, very bad spear in hand with a beautiful name. And on top of that, a whole lot of food ready to go. Inside of a flat world, let's go ahead and test this out. By not moving around and just using the lunge enchantment, I will move a small handful of blocks. More specifically, if I use the lunge enchantment without moving, I will be pulled about 3.5 blocks. Now, if I am already moving and I use the lunge enchantment, a little harder to tell there, but I'll be pulled even more blocks. So the quicker I am already moving, the further I will be pulled when I use lunge. To increase velocity even more, I could simply run and lunge, and wow, yeah, we can tell right here, immediately I'm sprinting past quite a few more blocks. Or at least like the additional momentum is helping me actually put good use to lunge. Now, I'm not sure about this one here, but it kind of seems like there might be some kind of friction mechanic coming into play too. You see, if I run and jump and use lunge, then I am rocketed forward like a bunch of blocks, all in like an instant. This is like a flipping insane, man. And this right here, this is where it gets flipping insane, man. Why did Waddles jump over the chicken? Well, I don't know. Like, take it to the other side or something. Lunge plus running plus jumping using midair. Oh, wowee. That's great. So now grab your science goggles, laddie, because it's time for a little test. Way off in the distance, there's a diamond arch. Then there's another. Then there's another. And there's a couple more after that. Every single diamond arch is spaced out 100 blocks apart. So this is 0. That's 100. 3, 2, 1. Let's lunge. If I run and jump, trying to travel like about 100 blocks as quickly as I can, well, that right there was 100 blocks. And I didn't even have to eat. But now that I've fully eaten, I could go ahead and just go ahead and, you know, do the same little trick again. All I'm doing is running and lunging and 100 more blocks. No big deal. Now this time I've ran out of lunge, but I want to try and keep moving. So now maybe I'm trying to go for like, I don't know, the world record of traveling 500 blocks. Got caught up a little bit there at the beginning, but no big deal. Just like that, you're seeing it here in action. I am now traveling like 500 blocks in the span of like, well, I mean, it's like less than a minute here. You got to take a break and eat every once in a while, but you got a lot of food? Well, pretty much no big deal here. You could travel 500 blocks in no time at all. Oh, but come on, you know, that's the flat world right here. There were no obstacles in the way, so yeah, that made it a whole lot easier. For sure, and certainly, inside of a normal survival world where the world goes up and down a little bit, yeah, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to travel 100 blocks. But still, as long as you don't get caught in some of the downsides that we're going to have here, which we'll talk more about in a second. But even if you do get caught in the downsides, it's really not that big of a deal. Traveling with Lunge 3 on your wooden spear. And more specifically, I tried to find a biome with plenty of different obstacles, so things like water. Well, as you can see here, I can not only attempt to clear large chunks of water, but even moving into other biomes, jumping off of things, as long as I'm not trying to go uphill too much. Yeah, I find that lunge doesn't work very usefully going uphill, but just like exploring, traveling around through a biome, oh, this is about the quickest you could move with almost no setup. So traveling all the way over here, this time around, I didn't really like time myself or anything like that, but for reference, I mean, I can't even see it. This is how far that I've gone. For reference, I just traveled all the way from that small corner of the plains biome around that way and back over here in like practically no time at all. Even more importantly though, no effort at all. But what if I told you, or maybe more so Gunna Mask tells you, there's a way to make it even better? Sus Stew, an item that I constantly am forgetting about, but has been in Minecraft for a long time. Suspicious Stew is a very interesting stew, because from Sus Stew, you can get a ton of different effects, including the very important, the amazing saturation effect. And actually, I believe the Sus Stew is the only way to get the saturation effect in survival Minecraft without commands. You're looking to get your hands on Sus Stew in survival, get a moo bloom, put it in water, let lightning land nearby, and get a brown one. After that, get a dandelion, one of the easiest to get flowers in the entire game, feed it to the brown mushroom, and then walk up to it with a bowl and use it. After getting all of that, you will get yourself one Sus Stew. You can repeat this process as many times over as you'd like in survival Minecraft to get even more. Not a saturation effect with that beautiful, beautiful icon. What in the world do it do? Well, the saturation effect will instantly replenish one hunger hunch times the level and 2 times the level points of saturation. Long story short, eating one Sus Stew, well, it instantly fills up a bunch of hunger. And you see exactly where I'm going with this, right? Back over in my flat world here with the subscribe spike, and this time armed with a ton of Sus Stew that has saturation on it, I could go ahead and do the same move again. Jump and lunge, jump and lunge. I just keep doing that all day long. When my hunger gets low, drink saturation Sus Stew, jump and lunge, jump and lunge, jump and lunge, and I can repeat the process for even more hundreds of blocks, even quicker, arguably, than using something like steak. The best food in the game. This is insane. I wonder if the devs even thought about this possibility. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to change back, God no. But oh my gosh, this feels absolutely broken. Being able to travel literally thousands of blocks in a matter of minutes, and to not even with an elytra or anything like that. Yeah, well, we have literally never been able to do this in Minecraft before. Now, our uses for this new lunge mechanic, oh, there are so many. For starters here, let's say I'm trying to map inside of my world. I have this map right here. It's not really filled in. I don't quite yet have an elytra, but I do have a lunge spear. I could run around with this map in my offhand, use my lunge spear, and basically, I mean, this map is fully zoomed out, so it's going to be very slowly, but surely, for sure, I can start to fill in this map, and all at the same time, of course, I can explore my world way more efficiently without the need of anything like a happy ghast, a horse, or even an elytra. Maybe, on the other hand, I find myself in a tight situation. It's the middle of nighttime and I need to get back home. Well, I could use my handy-dandy lunge spear to lunge myself around to my world. And, you know, I mean, I'm going the opposite way of Home Sweet Home, but you get the idea. You could use lunge to hurry up and quickly get somewhere in a tight pinch. Another handy-dandy one here that you could do with the lunge spear has to do with moving mobs around. Maybe I have this cow and I want to move it, but like not that far. You know, not quite far enough to use a happy ghast or anything. Well, I could use a lunge spear, and I mean, yeah, you got to be careful. You're going to damage your mob potentially, but as long as you can keep your mob like not too far away from you, you could use a lunge spear to quickly move anything that you can put on a lead. And yes, you're wondering about a villager inside of a boat? Boat on a lead, lunge on a spear? Yup, you can lunge and pull boats all around your world as well. Keep in mind the mechanics that they added when they updated leads and boats, being able to like jump and get these things uphill. And yeah, as long as you're patient, kind of careful here, well, very easily, you could use this method to relocate villagers, mobs, whatever you want inside of a boat pretty quickly. Now, well, let's say I found myself with one spear, second spear, and I wanted to create the most dangerous weapon of all time. I charge, I lunge. Okay, well, unfortunately, you can't dual wield the spear, hold one down, lunge towards the target. That's a little bit of a bummer, but I do look pretty sick holding two spear, right? All right. One final thing I want to show you here before I talk about some setbacks. Wind charge, boost high up into the air, use spear, and, well, I mean, you got to be quick with it. But yeah, you could lunge yourself forward with a wind charge too. It's pretty sick. It's pretty sick if you can get the timing just right. All right, now, unfortunately, there are some setbacks here. Let's say I was inside of a boat, maybe trying to drive it and wanting to lunge forward. Well, lunge is not going to work while I am inside of any entity. So if I do it on a horse, it won't work. If I do it in a boat, it doesn't work. If I do it in a happy ghast, unfortunately, it doesn't work. You think you maybe found the ultimate way to fly infinitely? You just use a lunge spear? Well, unfortunately, lunge doesn't work while you are flying either. No pulling. And then one other sad thing here, if you are in water and you try and lunge, well, that's not going to work either unless you are bouncing on the surface of the ocean. If you're swimming and bouncing on the surface of the water, well, then yeah, when you get the timing right, it's a little bit tricky to do, but yeah, you could use this to travel in the ocean way quicker too. It's kind of a shame you can't lunge while you're swimming, but then again, I don't know, man. Just get, like, riptide or something. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed our little experiment. Until next time, it's been me, Waddles. Check out the Testing Series playlist, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.